So let's go over this example that you have here. So we have customers on price list A, and then we have customers on price list B, and then they get specific discounts off of that. So what we're going to look at is we're going to look at how we can build specific customer price lists for each of these. And you guys know how you want this set up more than I do, so I'm going to show you the different rules that are in the back end of Magento, and that way you can see it, and then we can discuss this a little bit more tomorrow. So for example, I created a rule in the back end of the Magento storefront that I gave you guys an example for. These are price cart rules. So these rules are applied in the cart once the products are added in. Because it's based off of product amount in the cart, dollar amount or quantity amounts, that's how they get applied. So for example, we've got a promo first quarter helmets at 22%. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This is just an example. So for example, if you had multiple websites, you could say, I want to apply that. With your grouping that the example that you had in your email, this would be where the customer groups come in. So you have different price lists for customer groups. The connector will create these customer groups, and then at that point, then this is how. So you'll have like group A, group B, group C, group, yeah. So they'll all be put in that way. Then we use this for one customer, or sorry, one use per customer based off of the cart price rule. So what I envision, and you guys can tell me if this is not what you want, and then we'd have to do something custom. But once a person purchases and they get that percentage off, and I know that in previous promos you had a second chance. I'm only talking about the second chance part of this right now. So if you guys discontinue that, we can just totally not worry about it. But in this particular case, we would then take this same cart rule, duplicate it at that 22%, and then the only change we would do is just give them a specific coupon. So it could be a generic coupon. We could automate. You guys could send an email when an order comes in, saying, "Hey, you have a second chance," or we could figure out a way to automate that as well. I haven't done it; it'd be custom. So, or we could figure out a way to, and this would be very custom, is based on time period. We would have to create I'd have to contact the software developer, and they would have to add from these dates how much have they ordered. And as long as they've ordered the specific amounts that are going to be in this, then they get that discount. Where I think you're probably going to opt for that is if they're doing their second purchase and they bump up to that next rate, then that number will be different and they'll get more of a discount on it. I'm not sure where you guys are thinking on that, but I feel like that was what we had discussed before. So, but in this particular case, let me just show you how this works. So, customer groups, if you're going to have all the same customer groups applied to this one, you can just highlight them all, or you can say one. Then when we come down here, then we apply. In this particular case, we have an attribute set called casters. In the case of you guys, it would probably be helmets or apparel. Then you select that one, and then it says we can basically select out a whole bunch of different options. I'll show you all the different options that are there. So we have price cart rules or attributes in here, so we could add additional attributes if we want, and then we also have product attributes. So I can add additional attributes in this. So we could say non-discounted products that are helmets, and you could apply it in the back end of Magento underneath that product and say yes or no. So it just really depends on what items you want to be able to be in this cart as the rule, and then secondly, how that's going to be applied for the discount in the second half of this. So right here we've got the actions. Actions then are all of these rules here. So in your particular case, what you guys send over is the percent of product discount. So we could have that there. The other option could be, you know what, you, instead of giving percentages, you want to give a discount amount in the future. So you could say a fixed amount. So if you buy $21,000 worth of product, we're going to give you $500 off. And then on top of it, we're going to make another rule in Magento for the free products, which is a different tool. And I can show you how to do that as well. So then once we get to that, then we say apply these rules to only cart items that are in the following conditions. And what we had up above was the attribute set, which was casters. We could apply another one, and that would apply only the discount to those items. So if they bought helmets and they bought a couple gloves that are part of apparel, those would not be applied. You do have the option to deselect this and give them that discount as well, but I don't believe that's how it works. So let me know if that makes sense, and take a look at this and see if there's additional options that you feel that would need to be selected.